Hey guys, just doing a little video walking up the field with Vasily and Apollo. Gonna do a little video with them. For a couple reasons. One, I'm excited to be back up in the field. Haven't been able to do a lot of videos up here this winter, because back here and in this area is a pretty significant deer yard. So this time of year, we always have a lot of deer here, but we have deer that specifically flood in here because we have a overabundance of oak trees through here in the yard up here for the winter time. Deer from different areas. So we'll have like 20 or 30 deer. So usually I don't really care because you kick them up and they go off, they come back the next day. But when they're yarded up like that, I don't really like to kick them up out of their yard, because that's where they're comfortable, that's where they're feeding, that's the food they're on. So I don't come up here a lot in the winter time. But the deer have moved out of the yard since the fields have started to melt off, especially closer into town. So they're not really up here anymore. I mean, they're passing through and stuff, but we're reaching the end of them yarding up. So I feel more comfortable coming up here, not scaring away 30 deer who are relying on the ecosystem here and making them feel like they have to leave. So I'm excited to be up here. We have, see if I can get a zoom in here. Apollo and Vasily. I've always been a guy who prefers male dogs. So they're really two of my favorite dogs. Vasily is almost 10 months old, I think. Apollo is 18 months old, something like that. So Apollo is about 8 months older, I guess. I don't know, I'd have to do the math, but yeah, Vasily's a good dog. He's been in a video before. West German show line puppy. Apollo is a dog that I bred here. He's Mocha's brother and Iris's brother, who were in the last video. And he is Irish Wolfhound, Malamute, English Mastiff, Racing Greyhound with a little bit of Husky. So one of the things I really want to make a comparison about and talk about, and one of the reasons why I'm adding so much Shepherd, well, not so much really, but I'm adding it, is because you'll notice a big difference in the way that both these dogs are behaving right now. In my last video, you'll notice that Mocha is about in between how these two are. Vasily is a relatively Velcro-y dog. He's very interested in where I am, what I'm up to. And he runs off and plays, but you'll notice he only goes so far, and then he comes back. Now you'll notice with Mocha, she'll go a little bit further than that, but she still stays in the area and is interested. Now, Apollo stays in the area, but he will go quite a ways away, which is fine. I mean, you can see him running around over there. It's fine. He's enjoying himself. He's not hurting anything. But personally, it's easier for me to deal with a dog, and for most people, that's very much more similar to Vasily, where he'll go 30, 40 yards away from me, and then he's wanting to check back in with me, especially once you get into the woods. You can't see as far in the woods, so if you have a dog that's like Apollo, who, again, he's not doing anything wrong, I'm not concerned. He's just not naturally as Velcro-y. So that's one of the reasons why I want to add Vasily. Like, this is the furthest Vasily's gotten away from me, this whole thing. It's something that I enjoy, is having dogs that are closer by. So I thought it'd be a good comparison video. You can see Vasily's getting a little more comfortable because Apollo's up there. But if Apollo wasn't here, Vasily wouldn't be far from me at all. The only reason he's even this far is because Apollo's here and he feels kind of home. Again, nothing wrong with it. He's doing his own thing. He's being a good dog. They're both good dogs. It's just different, and it's what I prefer is more Vasily. But there's other things about Apollo that I prefer over Vasily. His height, his structure, his build, his calmness in the house are all things that I prefer a little bit more than Vasily's attitude. Although Vasily's a great dog. When I talk about these things, you have to understand that I'm really nitpicking because I really love both these dogs. But when you're trying to create the best thing you can, you get really nitpicky. And that's why Vasily's here in this program, hopefully to pass his OFA test and be used, because that's the quality I really enjoy, and he's a very good dog, temperament-wise, and I like the Velcro-y. When I go to the bathroom, I come out and he's standing at the door waiting for me to come out. Apollo, not so much. He wants to snuggle on the couch and hang out and stuff, but when he's like doing his own thing, he's perfectly content with just being his own man, you know? All have their pros and cons. All have their different abilities, but again, personally, this is what I prefer. Look at that sun going down. Certain level of attentiveness with your dogs, it just feels nice. And again, they're all a little bit different. Like I was talking about earlier, you'll notice that Mocha is about in between them. Like Mocha doesn't go, she'll run around the field and stuff, but she's not going to go as far away as Apollo does. It's just different, and he has other siblings that are a little bit stickier, and I'm sure he has other siblings that will go even further away. But just my personal preference, if I'm going on a hike off leash through the woods, I want my dog to naturally stay pretty close. I mean, you can also get a good size comparison. Vasily is not a small dog. Vasily's probably 70 pounds. I think that's where a puppy just pooped when I was up here earlier. So Apollo's a 112-pound dog. Lean, pretty lean. Come up, leave that turtle alone. Hey, hey, Silly. Vasily. And my dogs aren't like immaculately trained or anything. I don't pretend to be a dog trainer. I don't pretend to be a superhero when it comes to training dogs. So if you see them not listening or doing something they're not supposed to be doing, then that's about par for the course. I'm just a normal person with dogs who has a vision of something that I want. That's it. There's nothing inherently special. I don't think I'm a superhero. I don't think I'm a best dog trainer ever. I make mistakes. I fall short all the time. I just love dogs and do the best I can. Just getting some good shots of them together. As you can see, they're both really mild-tempered dogs. Two sexually mature male dogs. No issues. No drama. Just having fun. I should preface this because you always get people who say things. When I was talking about the deer yard earlier, I'm not talking about my dogs chasing deer. I'm talking about just their presence alone in an area like this will push the deer out. I don't know if that was clear or not, but I know that somebody's going to get on here and say something. So I just wanted to be clear. It's not about my dogs coming up here and chasing deer. It's about deer aren't going to stick around if there's dogs around. That's just their nature. regardless. So, but that's about 10 minutes, and you kind of get a good look at both of them. So I guess I'll call that a win. Bye.